Good day, coders. How are we all doing today? We'll be creating more games on Scratch too. So let's begin. In this project, you'll learn how to create your own adventure game world with multiple levels to explore. Click the green flag to start. Use the arrow keys to move your character around in the world. What you will learn? You will learn how to use conditional selections to react to key presses, use variables to store a game's state, use conditional selections based on the value of a variable, and how to use lists to store data. So let's begin. Alright, so at the end of your video, this is how your game would look like at the end. So I'm going to play this around and we'll start creating our game. So as you can see, you collect a coin, you get a point for collecting coins, and your objective is to go to the next level. Once you get to the next level, you'll see that now there is a obstacle. So you'll come to the board over here and it will say avoid the patrolling enemies. So this means you have to avoid this red character here and collect the coin to proceed to the next stage. Then the next stage is, if you come to the board over here, it says you'll need the blue key to open this door right here. So now we're going to have to find a way to get the key. Alright, and once you get the key, it goes into inventory, as you can see right at the bottom right hand side. Inventory, blue key, the door opens, you go in, and then your main objective is to get to the chest, and that's the game. So let's start the game, shall we? Alright, so we have our project open here, create your own world resources. As you can see, we've got a player, we've got a welcome board, we've got a person, enemy, coin, blue door, and the key. This is what we own. This is what we need for our game. So now we're going to code our player to move up when we press the up arrow key. So we'll go to event, go to green flag clicked, go to forever, drag out a forever loop, and an if statement. Then we go to sensing and drag out key space pressed, and we make sure it is the up arrow. Then we go to motion, then we drag out point in direction and change this into a 0, which is up, and we drag out the move block and change the 10 to a 4. So click the green flag and then hold down the up arrow. Does the player sprite move up? So we click the green flag and move our player up, and yes, it does happen. To move the player sprite to the left, you need to add another if block with a similar code. So we'll go control, another if statement, go to sensing, drag out key space pressed, and say left arrow. Then we go to motion, point in direction, and change this to a -90 for left. Move 4 steps. So now we've done for up, we've done for left. So let's now do for down and right. So go to control, drag out another if statement, go to sensing, drag out key space, then we'll say down, motion, point in direction, say down, let's say 4 steps, and the last one is the right arrow key, right arrow, go to motion, point in direction right, which is 90, move 4 steps. So now you can test this out by clicking the green flag and testing out all the arrow keys, up, down, left, and right. Perfect. So now solid walls. So this will be the gray wall right over here. Test your player sprite again. Do you see that it can walk through the light gray walls? So light gray walls, yes, it does. We need to fix this by making the player sprite move back if it touches a light gray wall. Here's the code you need to add inside your forever block below the direction blocks. So this will be another if statement. Another if statement. Going to touching, which is in the sensing block. If touching color, click in the block and make sure it's the gray color. Go to motion and say -4 steps. Move -4 steps. So if you click, it doesn't go any further. It doesn't move. It just stays there like it's being blocked. Now, the next thing we need to do is move around the world. So the player sprite should be able to walk through doors into other rooms. Your project contains backdrops for additional rooms. You click on stage and you go to backdrops. You see room 1, room 2, room 3. Alright? So we're going to create a new for all sprites variable called room. So we go to script, we go to data, make a variable called room for all sprites, room. So this is to keep track of which room the player sprite is in, and we can click on the tick to untick it so that it doesn't show on the stage. When the player sprite touches the orange door in the first room, the game should display the next backdrop, and the player sprite should move back to the left side of the stage. So this is what we're going to do. We click on our player, and underneath the last if statement, we're going to add another if statement. If touching color, then we're going to go to looks and say switch backdrop to the next backdrop. Then we're going to go to motion, have the go to X and Y block. X will be -200, Y will be 0, and then we go to data, change room by 1. So every time the game starts, the room character position and backdrop need to be reset. So we're going to add this code to the start of your player sprite code above the forever loop to reset everything when the green flag is clicked. So above the forever loop, we're going to have set room to 1. Set room to 1. Then we go to motion and drag out the go to X and Y value block. X will be -200. Y will be 0. Then we're going to go to looks. We're going to switch backdrop to room 1. Room 1. So now click the green flag and then move your player sprite until it touches the orange door. So we're going to click the green flag. As you can see, it goes to the starting position. And all we need to do is go to the next level. And as you see, does the sprite move to the next screen? Does the room variable change to 2? If you want to see that, you'll click on data, tick on room, and then click the green flag once again to start. As you can see, it starts in room 1, and if you go to, it says room 2. Now, we can do the same for going back to the previous room. So can you make your player sprite move back to the previous room when it touches a yellow door? So this will be, we'll stop this. Alright, we'll add another if statement. If sensing touching color, we'll make sure it is the yellow door here at the back. This one right here. Then we go to looks, switch backdrop to room 1. Previous backdrop. There we go. Previous backdrop. Then we go to motion. We drag out the go to X and Y value, which will be minus 200 to 0. There we go. And say change room by -1. So if you click the green flag and say OK, there we go. It should do that. Yeah, okay, so we click green flag, we go to the orange one, and we'll say back. There we go. And there you have it. Going to the previous room and going to the next room. So now, the next thing we need to do is add signs to our world to guide players on their journey. So the project does include our welcome sign, which is here, right here. So the welcome sprite sign, the welcome sprite should only be visible in room 1. So add some code to the sprite to make sure that this happens. So we'll click on our welcome sign. Then we'll go to events and drag out when green flag clicked. Edit inside, we go to control, we drag out the forever loop, and we drag out the if then else statement. Then we go to operators and get the equals to block. Then we go to data, drag out room to be in the first block, and in the second one, 1. Then looks, it has to show, and then it has to hide. So this means when we make our player go and touch the welcome box, it should tell us a sign or what it needs for us to do in order to pass this level. So you're going to test the code for your welcome sign sprite by moving between rooms. The sign should only be visible in room 1. So we're going to click green flag, and then we're going to go to room 2. Okay, there we go. Room 2 does not have oh, there we go. Room 2 does not have the welcome sign. Room 3 does not have the welcome sign. Alright, there we go. A sign isn't much good if it doesn't say anything. So we're going to add some code to display a message if the welcome sign sprite is touching the player's sprite. So this will be on our welcome sign, and then underneath it we'll have another if else statement. So we're going to go to sensing, going to take drag out touching mouse pointer, but instead of a mouse it's going to be our player, and it has to say something. So we go to looks, we drag out the say block. So inside it should say welcome. Can you get to the treasure? Question mark. And at the bottom it's another say block, but it should be empty. So we'll just erase the hello and make it like blank. So we test the welcome sign sprite, and you should see that your player sprite touches the welcome sign and the sign speaks to the player. So green flag, there we go, welcome, can you get to the treasure? And if you move away, it also disappears. So can you add some treasure for the player to find? Make the treasure chest appear in only room 3 and have this sprite say well done when it touches it. So we're going to go to the chest, we're going to go to green flag, go to control, drag out the forever loop, and drag out the if else statement. So we'll see what we did with welcome. We said if room equals to 3, or in this case 1, that means this must show. So we do the same with the chest. We get the equals to block, go to data, drag Alright, so it will be the equals to block room. If it equals to 3, then it should show and it should hide. So this is for when we get to room 3 for the treasure. And also another if statement. If else statement, if touching player, then it should say well done. So type in here well done. Whoops, there we go, well done. And here at the block should be empty, so we erase the hello block. And there it is. So we'll test it out and see what happens. Welcome. Can you get to the treasure? I'm sure I can. Let's go. Alright, there we go. Navigating through the world. Next room. As you can see, it is shown. I go and now I click and it says well done. Perfect. Next thing we need to do is add other people to your world. So let's go to our person right over here. Add this code to the person sprite so the person talks to the player sprite. This code is very similar to the code you added to your sign sprite. So we go to events, drag out when green flag clicked, go to motion, drag out the go to X and Y block. X value is 0 and Y value is minus 150, 150. Then we go to control and drag out a forever loop and we drag out the if else statement. Then we go to sensing and drag out touching block, say player. If touching player, then go to looks, drag out the say block, and it should say, did you know that you can go through orange and yellow doors? Question mark. And then drag another say block, has to be empty. There we go. So now we click on the green flag and see if we can talk to our person right here. So we'll go to him and say, did you know that you can go through orange and yellow doors? I'm sure I knew that. As you can see, I go through the yellow door and I go through the orange door. Perfect. So now we're going to allow our person sprite to move by adding these two blocks in the else section if on your code. So we'll go to motion and drag out the move block and then say if on edge bounce. So it's going to be 1. Alright, so we'll click the green flag and see that our person moves, and so we can go to him if we want to. See, it's going to bounce back, and we're going to say, did you know that you can go through the orange and yellow doors? Yes, I did. And you proceed to go through that motion. So your person sprite will now move but will stop to talk to the player sprite, as you guys have noticed. So now we're going to add a code to your new person sprite so that the sprite only appears in room 1. The code you need is exactly the same as you used on the sign sprite. So again, go to control, drag out the if else statement, sensing, then we'll say, what did you use? Alright, so it's not sensing, it is the operators block. Make sure it's on our person, person, there we go. We get the equals block. So we go to data, drag out room. If room equals 1, then it should show and it should hide. There we go. So we click green flag. Alright, we go to our person. Oh, yes, we know. And then there we go. He doesn't appear in room 2 and he doesn't appear in room 3. So if we go to room 3, he doesn't appear. There we go. Only appears in room 1. So now If you want, you can also add a patrolling enemy, which is right over here, enemy, to the game. If the player sprite touches an enemy, the game ends. So your game already contains an enemy sprite. So we're going to add a code to the enemy sprite so that it only appears in room 2. So for that, we'll go to events, drag out when green flag clicked, control, forever loop, if else statement, go to operators, drag out the equals to block, go to data, drag out room, and make sure that it only appears in room 2. So we'll right there in the second block, 2. Go to looks, drag out show, and hide. Then we'll have another code. When green flag clicked, go to control, drag out the forever loop, and an if statement, sensing. So we go to if touching player, it should stop all. Go to control, drag out stop all. Then we'll have another when green flag clicked. Motion, go to X and Y value. The X value is 170. The Y value is 0. Then we go to control and drag out the forever loop. Then inside the forever loop, we've got the repeat loop. Make sure it's 130. And another repeat loop, 130. Go to motion, change X by -1. So we go to change X by -1 and change X by 1, the second block. There we go. So we test out our new code to make sure that the enemy sprite is only visible in room 2, the enemy sprite patrols the room, and the game ends if the player sprite touches the enemy. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to green flag. We'll say, welcome, can you get to the treasure? Yes. Alright, we go to our person. He comes to us. He talks and say, did you know that you can go through orange and yellow doors? Yes, I did. So we go to through the yellow door first. Alright, there we go. We have our patrolling enemy right here. He's patrolling the site. There we go. So I'm going to go down, avoid him, or if let's say we touch him, the game ends. As you can see, the game stops. We can try again. We can try again. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to avoid our enemy patroller over here. Alright, so he's patrolling. And then we go to the next level. There we go, room 3. We also want him to also appear in room 3. So we're going to add another if else statement. So if else statement, operators equal room equal to 3 as well. It should show and it should hide, right? Alright, so let's see. We've managed, we talk to the guy. Oh, now he does not appear in room 2. He's not there. That is weird. How come he's not here? Okay, let's click the green flag. Hold on. So we go. I think there's 2 if statements contradicting. Now there we go. There we go. I got glitched into the wall. Alright, so he's not patrolling this side, but he's patrolling over here. So we need to remove this if statement and put it separately, like this. Let's click green flag. Alright, let's see if he's there. Yes, he's there. Alright, there we go. I'm avoiding him. Oh, there we go. I forgot the forever loop here. Don't forget, guys. Forever loops want this thing to continue. All right, so we're testing this out. Keep going. But now he has disappeared. That is so odd. He's not there, but if you remove the forever loop, okay, we'll get this fixed. Do not worry. But anyways, if you click the green flag, get ourselves to the next level, right over here. He's there. He's right there. I guess we'll need an AND as well. That's how we'll get it fixed. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay. We go to operators and get the AND. There we go. So we'll put in if room 2 equals 2 and 3. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right. Let's hope this code works because we're using an AND block now. Okay, so room 3 room 2, the enemy patroller is not there, and he's also not in room 3. That is very odd. We'll get this fixed. Okay, so I found the problem. So we do not need the AND block. So right here, this is perfect. So we're going to get rid of this. All right, so we do not need the AND block or anything like that. All we had to do was duplicate enemy to be enemy 2, like this. There we go. So we've got enemy 2, and in here we can write room 3, so he can also appear in room 3, and it will change the coordinates over here to -5, and then y. So x is -5, y is -90, 90. All right, so now we can test it out and see if it actually works. So there we go. We can first look at our welcome board, then we can talk to our person. All right, then we'll go to the next room. There we go. We see enemy 1 is patrolling. All right, there goes enemy 1 is patrolling. I'm going to avoid him. All right, then there he is, enemy patrol number 3. Then we'll go up and then boom. Welcome. Oh, in this case, well done. We can even do it so that enemy number 2 can go here in the repeat loop. We can do it 70 times. 70 times here, 70 times here, and instead of going this way, it can go up and down. So 70, 70. Then we take out the change x and we put in change y by -1, and then change y by 1. Okay, so then we can practice once again. All right, there he is, enemy patrol number 1, and then enemy patrol number 2 is going up and down, and all we need to do is get to the treasure chest. There we go. So we have debugged our program to see that it appeared in level 2, which is room 2, and level 3, which is room 3. Perfect. So now that we've done that, we can also give our enemies a little bit more. Let's say instead of it just stopping when it touches your player, it can say something like, I got you. So we can go to looks and we can drag out the say block and say, gotcha, gotcha. Right, click here, gotcha. And it can also play a sound of a scary person. So we can go to sounds tab. We've got male left 2, that's perfect. So we'll go to the script area, go to sound, drag out play sound right there. We can do the same for the second one as well. Go to looks and say gotcha, gotcha, and then play sound. There we go. Perfect. So now that we have added a few more obstacles to our world, let's make the game more fun by adding coins so that we can collect coins. Okay, so your player sprite should be able to collect coins as it moves through the world. So we're going to add a new variable called coins to your project. So we're going to data, make a variable coins. Alright, so we're going to put coins right there. We can remove room right now and put coins right here. There we go. Alright, so once you've got the coins variable done, we're going to click on our coin sprite. Here we go. And we're going to right click and show our coin, and it's right there. So now that we have our coin shown on the stage, we're going to add this code so that it only appears in room 1. So we go to events, drag out when green flag clicked, go to control, drag out the forever loop, and the if else statement. Then we go to operators, get the equals to, go to data, drag out room, and make sure it only appears in room 1. Okay, then you can show, and then you can hide, just like this. And then we're going to add code to the coin sprite so that the sprite hides and 1 is added to the coins variable once the player sprite touches the coin sprite to pick it up. So we drag out another when green flag clicked, go to control and drag out wait until, sensing, touching, player, then go to data, change coins by 1, then it must hide, and then stop all other sprites, which is in control, stop, and then instead of all, just say other script in sprite. So the code stop other script in sprite is needed so that the coin sprite stops being displayed in room 1 once it's been collected. Now add a code to the stage to set your coins variable to 0 at the start of the game. So we'll click on stage. So we go to events, drag out when green flag clicked, go to data, set coins to 0. So now we test your game. Collecting a coin should change your coin score to 1. So we click green flag, and then all you need to do is collect. There we go. There we go. And as you can see, I'm still avoiding my enemies. And then go to the final stage, which is that. So as you can see, we collected the coin and it has changed to 1. Perfect. So now the next step we're going to be doing is adding doors and keys. So now you're going to add code so that some of the doors in your game in your game world are locked, and the player must find a key to open them to get to the next door or to the next room. So switch to the key sprite, right click on it and choose show so that it appears on stage. So key, right click, show, right over there. And now we're going to edit the key sprite costume so that it's blue. So we go to costume and we get the blue color, and all we gotta do is just color it blue like that. Perfect. So now we're going to switch to the stage backdrop to room 3. So we go to stage, we're gonna click on stage backdrop room 3. Perfect. So this is the difficult place to reach, which is where the enemy is going to be patrolling. So now add code to the key sprite, click on key, so that it has to be only visible in room 3. So we go to events, green flag, control, forever loop, if else statement, go to operators, equals to data, room 3. Alright, go to looks, show, and hide. So now we're going to create a list called inventory to store the items your player collects. So we go to data and we make a list. Make a list, not variable, a list. Then we're going to type there inventory. Inventory for all sprites. And we say okay. There we go. The code you need to add for collecting the key is very similar to the code for collecting coins. The difference is that you add the key to the inventory. So we can put this down here. We can put this down here. Or we can untick it. Either way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add this code when green flag clicked. Go to control, drag out, wait until. Go to sensing, drag out touching block and say player. Then we go to data. Now this time, instead of choosing the variable codes here, we're going to be choosing from the list. So we're going to say add thing to inventory, but the thing is called the blue key. So we're going to type there blue key. There we go, key. Then we're going to go to looks and drag out hide and go back to control, drag out stop and say other script in sprite. Then we're going to add code to our stage to empty your inventory at the start of the game. So we click on stage, go to data, delete, and we put it right on top, delete all of inventory. There we go. So we test your game to check whether you can collect the key, sprite, and add it to your inventory. So we can put the list here, and we can put it right here. So we click the green flag. Alright, we grab the coin. Alright. Okay, so now we're going to avoid. Okay, there we go. Avoid the enemy patrol right there. Alright, so now we need to get the key. Okay, alright, there we go. Boom, there we go. It is added to our inventory. I glitched through the wall, and then all we need to do is, there we go. And then if you click we click the green flag once again, it deletes the inventory. Alright, so you can click here again. So now we're going to add the locked door. So we're going to right click on the door blue sprite and select show. So door blue sprite, right click, show. There we go. It's shown in the first room. So we're going to position it in room 3. So we're going to go to backdrop. We're going to go to room 3. There we go. So this is where we'll be focusing. As you can see, it is perfectly closing the gap over there in room 3. So now we have a door. So now we're going to add code to the door so that it only appears in room 3. So we're going to go click on door, events, when green flag clicked, control, if else statement, forever loop. There we go. Go to operators, get the equals to block, data, room 3, looks, show, and hide. And then we're going to add code to the door blue sprite so that when the key is in the inventory, the sprite hides to allow your player sprite to pass. So we're going to go to events, another when green flag clicked, go to control, drag out the wait until. There we go to data, Then we need inventory contains blue thing. So obviously contains thing, which is the blue key. Blue key. Like this, blue key. Then it should stop all sprites. Alright, stop other scripts in sprite, and it should hide as well. Looks, hide. There we go. So now we test your game and see if we can collect the blue key to open the door. So we click green flag. Alright, we collect our coin. There we go. We've got one coin there. And then we're going to now, there we go. Boom. Then we need to get the key. There we go. As you see, the key disappeared with the door, and then bam. Alright, so now we have come to the end of the game. I can give you a little challenge here to make your game more interesting. So you can continue creating your own world. Here are some ideas. You can add more coins to your game in different rooms. Can you let some coins be guarded by a patrolling enemy? Change your game's backdrops. Add sound and music to your game. Add more people, enemies, and signs. Add red and yellow doors and special keys to open them. Add more rooms to your world. And add other useful items to your game. You can use coins to get information from other people. You could even add doors in the north and south walls of room 1 so that the player can move between rooms and all 4 directions. For example, your game can have 9 rooms in a 3x3 grid. You can then add 3 to the room number to move down 1 level. So these are just tips and ideas on how to get your game to be more interesting. So if you click the full view screen and you click your green flag, here you go, welcome, can you get to the treasure? I've got collected the coin. I can also talk to my person here. Did you know that you can go through orange and yellow doors? Yes, I did. And as you can see, we get to one where there's a patrolling officer right here. Okay, so there we go. So I'm trying to avoid him. And then we can go to the next stage. There we go. And if I get here, the game stops because it caught me. So have fun with this game, guys. Continue making it more interesting, and just go with it. Add more things. You could add more people, more enemies, and creating your own world, as the game is creating your own world. All right. So thank you guys for your time. Please visit us at www.pingacademy.co.za, where we'll be continue making videos just like these. Peace out, guys.